if I start telling people about hell, I might just scare them off. Where are you going to scare them off to? Hell number 2? Or are you just going to sit there and let them burn?
And men try to say, well, no, it can't be. It's impossible. But at the same time, as you go throughout the world, and I know, you have gone to Peru, you have seen things in Peru that you say, well, this can't be human being. This can't be done by a human. Am I correct in saying that?
You're speaking of a place called Sacsaywaman, and that place, I'll be going there again in June with Steve Quayle, Timothy Alberino, and frankly, I can't wait for it. It's just, my wife's never seen it. She's seen the pictures, but pictures are one thing. When you actually are at a site and the wind's in your hair and you smell the smell of the local area, it just changes everything. And here's the deal. When you look at Sacsaywaman, which is about 13,000 feet above sea level, and there are these huge, giant megalithic stones which have been placed without mortar, that's called ashlar construction, without mortar, polygonal shapes. There's nothing square. Every stone is different. No two are alike, in my opinion. No two are alike. And the angles are very complex, and there's curves. And these cuts through the stone go all the way through the stone. So what you see in front of you are stones weighing, some of the small ones, 10, 20 tons, some of the larger ones well over 120 tons. How are they moved? How are they cut? The archaeologists insist that the Inca were mighty builders, but that's not what the Inca say. The Inca tell us that the giants built them, that it was there when they got there, Sacsaywaman, so it's extremely ancient. And here's something else. The Inca did not have iron, so they'd have copper tools. You can't cut andesite stone. Andesite is 7 on the Mohs hardness scale. You can't cut andesite with a copper chisel. How were these stones moved? They were quarried miles away and then brought and placed. We are looking at something that, and I mean this, that you would be hard-pressed to do in modernity. Hard-pressed to do it right here, right now. And of course, the archaeologist insists that their interpretation is right. Well, why do we have to believe what you said? Because your teacher told you and you wanted to get an A in your class, so you drank the Kool-Aid? You don't even think for yourself, and most of these guys don't. You just spew the party line. You go to Sacsaywaman, show me how it's done. Just like Zawi Hamas in the Great Pyramid insists that Egyptians built the pyramid, that Khufu did. Zawi, just show me one thing. How did the Egyptians in the Neolithic, thousands of years ago, carve granite stones and move them the size of railroad cars? These granite stones are the size of railroad cars. How did they move them from Aswan, where the granite was cut, and move 500 miles to where the site of the Great Pyramid is at Giza? How is that done?
Wow.
Just show me that, Zawi. And then how do they move? These things weigh hundreds of tons. Hundreds of tons. How was it moved? How was it cut? How was it moved? And then how was it placed above the king's chamber? Give me a break. But because in Darwinism and in academia and in the scientific community, there is no room for the supernatural. None. So, of course, they always default to the rational explanation, no matter how irrational that so-called rational explanation really sounds. And, papyrus boats, show me, Zawi. You took the thing and you rolled it on logs, show me. Just show me. Wasn't done.
Yeah.
Just like when you go to Baalbek in Lebanon. And I've never been over there. I've never seen the Great Pyramid. I want to go, and I want to go to Baalbek. But, there's so much nonsense going on over there. It's just like, for me, it's not safe anymore. So I'm not going.
Right.
And I'd love to go to Israel. That's a different story. But when you go to Baalbek, the largest stones ever quarried by human beings are there. And they weigh upward of 1,600 tons. 1,600 tons. These stones are, 60 to 70 feet long, 14 feet wide, 16 feet high. Huge. Absolutely huge. And you know what? There's no way you can do that in modernity. With cranes and everything else, okay, with a crane you can do that. I get that. But you know what? There's no cranes in antiquity. There's nothing there. And we know,
Right.
because of the work of a modern-day Egyptian archaeologist, that there are now two other stones which are larger than the stone in Baalbek. The stone in Baalbek
Wow.
is partially quarried, and it's called the stone of the pregnant woman. There are two stones below it which are still in the quarry. Hello, how is that done? And see, this is the problem, guys. This is the problem, that modern-day archaeologists refuse to look at any other answer other than the answer that they were taught in school, that the Egyptians were master builders and they did this. We're saying nonsense. Yeah. There's a secret history which has been deliberately obfuscated from the people, and it's all around us, even in the Americas.
If you like our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our frequent updates.